you get really light, it's very, very easy for you to actually jump because your leg gets light because all your weight is on the leg. Okay? So let's do from another angle. The whole thing. Boom, he controls, he turns. Stretch, bend, address the elbow, break. Pass the guard. Alright guys, I'm sorry. I lied. I'm joking, but I need to show a technique now that's a little bit, I would say, new school. But I tell you the reason why I do that. Because it's a very, very tough position, a very, very tough situation. In reality, this is the guy who taught me that. He actually taught me that when we were debating techniques. And he's like the face of new school jiu-jitsu right now. So the idea is that even though it can be like a little acrobatic, I want you guys to focus on the details because pretty much I think the hardest thing of this technique, right, Professor Lucas, is the roll, the shoulder roll, yes. Right? You need to do a shoulder roll in a kind of a perpendicular way. Guys, you can be like even 80 years old. If you're a jiu-jitsu guy or judo guy or grappler, at least a front shoulder roll, you know how to do it. So if you can do a shoulder roll, the regular shoulder roll, you should be able to do this technique. Okay? So, Professor Lucas now has, the worm. And he get me stuck like really well there. But now there's a problem. Remember when I told you that I should address the elbow in the previous technique? Now he closes the elbow. So I can't push and break this grip like the same way. And I don't want to go here because the grip is too tight. Okay? So what I want you guys to do is to make sure that this knee goes over this wrist. Every time he goes like this and he closes, is a big trouble. So my fight now is not on the elbow. My fight is here. Ideally with the elbow in. And then I push down like that. And I will keep one arm framed because I want this hand to be below my knee. Okay? Now guys, look, always remember to step that leg forward. The leg that is stuck, you step forward. You need to make sure that you bother his leg somehow here. Okay? And now, maintaining that, I will turn my body as much as I can because I want to reach his toes, like a toe hold. Once I reach his toes, I will actually step back just enough and push it down for me to step over. Okay? Once I get here, guys, the grip is not done going yet, and I will shift to make sure that I get him a little bit sideways. Okay? Now guys, the shoulder run comes. I will put my weight forward using this hand that was in his arm to his collar and the other hand by the hip. Okay, so I'm pretty much going to do this. Okay? Once I do that now, I will try to do a perpendicular shoulder roll and connect the back of my knee, my left knee, on the back of his right knee. So from here, look, when I go and I go forward, look, I will try to go perpendicular. I'm going to try to stop here for a second to get this leg, look, behind his knee. Okay? And then with the hand on the collar and the hand on the pants, I will get momentum to actually bring him with me. And when his hip goes high, I pull him by the collar and by the hip. So I'm going to pretty much do this. Okay? Once I do this, I fall straight to the hook. One of the things that people do sometimes, because I don't fall too close to him, is that they turn on their belly really quick and try to turn into him, and then you lose the back. So as soon as you go here, you drive the hip down to make sure your chest is on the back, and immediately this hand goes to the shoulder. Once your hand goes to the shoulder, try to turn Lucas. He doesn't turn. It's impossible for him to turn. And then I'm going to be finishing here on his back. So one more time. So Professor Lucas is here. The situation is elbow is closed. So I'll stretch my leg, and since I can't address on the elbow, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to push his wrist down to make sure that the grip goes under my knee. Okay? and I keep this arm frame with the shoulder frame that we've been talking a lot in this video. So from here, turn, 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 address the toes. As you move back, step over. Okay, I will do the shoulder roll in perpendicular. Control the hip, control the collar. Once I control the hip, control the collar, I go perpendicular and I connect the back of my knee on his. As I do this, I'll try to do it once. I bring everything towards him and get the back. You already got one hook. I cannot afford to let him escape. So the hand that was in the pants controlling the hip, immediately to the far shoulder. Once you do that, look, I try to turn. Try really hard. Look, he doesn't go anywhere. And I can get the hooks and finish the back take. Let's go ahead and do to the other side. I'm gonna go a little faster this time. Controls there, holds. So stretch, go, push under the knee, frame arm, shoulder there, walk, 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 step over. When I go, on that, push. Control the fly shoulder. If he's trying to turn really quick, look, half Nelson. Make the hook, finish the back. Alright guys, another species, another kind of lapel guard. It's not going to be necessarily the worm, but it's going to be what they call the lapel lasso, right? That's the name? Not really good name, it's a lapel lasso. And lapel lasso pretty much works in a kind of a similar way. Let me help him out here. When he just steps in there. So it's kind of like a lasso would be on your arm, but this time it's going to be on the lapel. Okay? So it's very important here that my positioning is key. So this leg, I always try to step this leg forward. The leg that is stuck. I necessarily cannot open my knee very easy, but I'll try to get this hand addressed and step forward